And when you look at the weights, it's interesting that Soto Karass, who has fought mostly as a welterweight, but sometimes at 154, walks in tonight at 162, so that's pretty interesting.
All right, let's go back to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official introductions.
Well, fans, from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino here in Las Vegas, we present our next attraction, brought to you by Golden Boy Promotions and Showtime in association with Arena Box Promotions and sponsored by Corona La Cerveza Más Fina. Introducing to you at this time our judges, scoring the bout from ringside, all from the state of Nevada. We have Tim Cheatham, Robert Hoyle, and Ricardo Ocasio. And our referee in charge of the bout, the third man in the ring, Russell Mora. All right, fans, here we go. 10 rounds of boxing in a super welterweight special attraction. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing green trunks with gold trim, fighting out of North Hollywood, California, by way of Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. He weighed in at 148 pounds. His record stands at 26 wins, 8 losses, 3 draws, and 1 no decision, with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former NABF and WBC Continental America's welterweight champion, introducing Jesus El Renuente Soto Karass. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner in this 10-round special attraction, wearing black trunks with gold trim, hailing from Trabzon in Turkey. He weighed in at 149 pounds. His fine record stands at 23 wins, only 1 loss, with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked the WBC #3 welterweight in the world, introducing Selçuk Once again, here's our referee in charge. Now to give instructions, Russell Mora.
Centering. Okay, gentlemen. Trunks here. Anything below the navel is a foul. Anything below the navel is a foul. We went over the rules in the dressing room. You know what I expect. A clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. God bless. Touch up.
You may want to super glue your eyelids wide open for this one. These two warriors have combined for 12 first-round knockouts, each with 6, albeit for Soto Karass, it came in his first 8 bouts. But both known for their fan-friendly pressure, plenty of punching power, and we are underway. The first round here scheduled for 10 at a contracted weight of 149 pounds.
And we should say that Aydın did come in a half-pound over at the weigh-in, but immediately lost the weight. So it wasn't a big issue for him to get down. And you saw that Soto Karass, after he rehydrated, came in about 8 pounds heavier than Aydın.
This is Aydın's 3rd fight in the United States. Paulie, you saw him beat Said Wali back in 2009, and you said there was a big difference in his deportment when you saw him enter the ring against Guerrero in his last fight.
Yeah, you know, I saw him years ago on the Wali fight on TV, and I just couldn't help but think, man, this guy is so mean. You know, and then a couple of years ago, he was mentioned as an opponent, a possible opponent for myself, so I started watching some videos of him, and I saw the same thing. I saw a guy that could punch, and a guy with a severe mean streak in the ring. Like you said earlier, he actually knocked out a referee in the amateurs because he lost his temper and he was suspended. So, you know, I saw that same kind of temperament, but in the Guerrero fight, you know, I seen him in the ring and he's smiling. It was almost like a nervous smile. And, you know, he said he had lost the love for the sport. You know, he hadn't been very busy. This is a guy that was, you know, a victim of a bit of politics in that he was a #1 contender for a world title for a while and couldn't get the shot, and he kind of became disgusted. He got the Guerrero shot, like Al said before. He lost, but he was given a boost of confidence by our execs over at Showtime, over here at Showtime, and you know, here he is again. So let's see. I see the excitement. I didn't see the nervous smile before the fight.
Oh, body work, very effective body work from Soto Karass. Overhand right delivered by Aydın.
both men are doing good work here in round one. They are setting the tone for what we think will be a very fast-paced and excellent fight. And Aydın has landed the overhand right very well.
Soto Karass ducks that overhand right attempt. A minute remaining in the opening round. Left hook to the body by Soto Karass. Yes, he is Mexican.
Well, and Soto Karass has had 7 points deducted in the past for low blows. So when Russell Mora gave them the instructions about low blows, it applies to Karass.
You know, one thing Soto Karass said yesterday, he wants to remain disciplined and box. It's something he always gets away from in his fights. Starts boxing and then he gets lured into a slugfest. Well, Aydın is trying to lure him into a slugfest here.
Under 30 seconds remaining. Punches in bunches being exchanged by Aydın backing up along the ropes, and Soto Karass with the overhand right goes to the body with the left and right and tries to go through the high defense.
And he made it almost a full round, and now he's walking in, squaring himself up, Karass. But he's doing some good work against Aydın.
Final 10 seconds of a good opening of 3 minutes here between Aydın and Soto Karass as both are chucking leather. Let's go to the keys to victory in this fight.
Here is Selçuk Aydın, and you know, he's got to get the jab in there and remember to throw it. He doesn't throw it very often. He didn't much in the round one either. Staying on balance is important to him, and that jab actually helps him stay on balance. And the overhand right, which he did get in during that round, is a big weapon for him. And that's Adam Booth, his trainer, his new trainer. Now, for Soto Karass, don't square up. He started to do that toward the end of the round when he was moving forward. And he has to stay off the ropes. There were a few moments where he got himself there. And his overhand right is also an excellent punch. And he did land it several times.
Soto Karass' trainer is Ramon Yuquita Morales. The end swell already being used just after the first round, Paulie.
Yeah, you know, you saw Karass try to box, but they weren't shy about getting into exchanges either.
The bell in round 2. Selçuk Aydın, an incredible amateur pedigree, went 360-20. We talked about what happened with the referee. He turned professional just 4 months after his suspension, but his amateur roots run deep. His brother, Yelchin, the coach of the Turkish national junior amateur squad.
When Adam Booth won, and there's Karass. Now the question for Soto Karass, how much does he attack when he gets Aydın in that situation? Does he attack and back off to make sure he keeps the pace at where he wants it, or does he go after him?
It's something he's got to feel out in there. You know, a fighter knows.
Oh, overhand right connects by Soto Karass. And Karass working the body with the left hook. Aydın catches the right hand with his glove, but it's Soto Karass delivering the left hook to the body, now working the jab.
This fight is exactly what we thought it would be.
1 minute gone in the second round. Plenty of action already here. The joint is jumping in Las Vegas as Soto Karass again continues to work the body and pops the jab.
What a start to this round for Soto Karass. And he is remaining disciplined in that he's not wading in and squaring himself up here.
Showing a bit more of an arsenal than Aydın. Aydın winging those hard shots, but Karass setting him up a bit with jabs and body shots.
One of the things I noticed in Aydın's fight with Guerrero was the fact that Guerrero used his jab a lot, while it could be said that the only way you could see Aydın's jab in that fight was on the side of a milk carton, and we're seeing already evidence of that here, Al. He's loading up with the right hand, but not trying to use the jab. Conversely, Soto Karass, pretty effective so far with that.
And Adam Booth said that's one of the things he wanted from Aydın a lot. He said, you know, he's a tough fighter, he's got a great chin, he's got power, he's got everything, but that jab is important. And there's the overhand right.
Everything Aydın throws is with bad intentions, but Soto Karass very effective in working the body, mixing up his arsenal, going upstairs and downstairs, Paulie.
Yeah, he's got a good variation going. And one thing Aydın's gonna find out real soon is that Soto Karass has a very good chin. So all these hard winging shots he's throwing, even if they land, it's gonna take a bunch of shots to break down Soto Karass. Kind of like Maidana broke him down and finally hurt him and knocked him out. Aydın has to figure out a little bit of variation to his attack. Right now he's just being one-dimensional, and Soto Karass is picking him apart.
Aydın has never been knocked down. Soto Karass has been down twice in his career, the second time in that fight against Maidana. Straight right hand connects. Soto Karass flashes the jab, 3 jabs. More of a range finder with those 3 as Aydın stays in the pocket, under 10 seconds remaining. Overhand right connects behind the ear by Aydın, but he eats a counter right hand for his efforts as we go to round 3.
Don't change to southpaw. You're dominating this way. Don't go southpaw on me. I repeat, do not go southpaw on me. Because he's looking for that. We're doing well. You're the one that's giving the lesson here.
And indeed, the boxing of Soto Karass has been very good. Now that lead right, and then he goes downstairs with the body shot. Now in this situation, an overhand right does get in from Aydın because he was close, but the jab setting up the right hand for Soto Karass. And at a distance, you see, he can make things work against Aydın. It's when they're inside that Aydın can have some success.
The bell and round 3, Paulie, Soto Karass' trainer Morales saying, do not go to southpaw. You're doing just fine with the orthodox stance. Can you give us some insight on that?
Well, he turned southpaw for a few brief seconds at the end of the round, but then changed his mind and went back to right-handed. So I think the trainer was basically just trying to remind him, hey, don't get cute in there. You got a big puncher in front of you. What you're doing is working. Keep it up.
Now the danger for Karass are those left hooks to the body and double left hooks. They're good punches to throw, but I don't know if you want to be throwing those because that tends to square you up and get you on the inside against Aydın. So the jab and the straight right are a little safer for him.
Show stats in the second round, and a 10-punch advantage for Soto Karass as he continues to land here in round 3.
He had a very big round in the last round.
There's just more consistency to Soto Karass' attack.
And Aydın's fighting this fight.
Oh, there was a jab by Aydın.
Yeah, it's a newsflash. Fighting this fight, Aydın is completely in long range. That will not be his best ticket to win this fight. Unless at long range he's really fortunate to get in a monstrous overhand right.
Oh, and Soto Karass almost ate that right hand from Aydın again, picking him apart with the jab.
You know, Aydın lands every round. He does land his share of shots. It's just, again, like I said, Soto Karass is more consistent. He's behind the jab, it's in combinations. What Aydın lands is one at a time. And then he stops after he throws, and Soto Karass gets right back on it.
Soto Karass trained at Daniel Ponce de Leon's new gym in Montebello, California for this fight. Ponce de Leon, of course, will be defending his newly won title against Jason Velez, an undefeated athlete who we saw in Madison Square Garden December 1st. There's a couple of left hooks from Soto Karass, and that title fight coming up March 2nd from the Apollo Theater in New York here on Showtime. And of course, it'll continue the Mexico versus Puerto Rico boxing rivalry as a rivalry building here between Aydın and Soto Karass. As advertised, they are delivering plenty of action.
Been a very good fight, and you see Aydın going to the body. He has not done that as much because he hasn't been in position to do it. Karass has landed many more punches down there. Also, Aydın has a very good uppercut, but he can't get in close enough to throw that punch.
Straight right hand backs Aydın up to the ropes. Overhand right connects by Aydın, but again, he's leading with his power shots, not wanting to set anything up with his jab now. Doing some footwork at that left hook and a right hand to the body by Soto Karass, and he punctuates it with a jab. And again, now Aydın beginning to find a bit of a home for that overhand right over top of Soto Karass' left arm, but it's one punch here and there.
Yeah, Mauro, like I said, he does land his share of right hands or even left hooks here and there, but it's just not as consistent. A good left hook there by Aydın again, but again, there's just more consistency to Soto Karass' work, and I think that's why he's winning the round.
We mentioned Daniel Ponce de Leon defending his featherweight title against Jason Velez March 2nd from the Apollo Theater. A look at Sharif Bogare, who is going to fight Richard Abril on that card March 2nd on Showtime.
Popular young fighter here in Las Vegas. He's a resident here now in Las Vegas, and he is a very exciting fighter.
Okay, and Jorge Linares right next to him.
Oh, that is Jorge Linares, you're right. Of course, a very fine fighter. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing Bogare against Abril. Many people feel Abril beat Brandon Rios when he fought him.
Good round, good jab. Hip, low touch. When he meets, bam bam, and go. Okay? Speed, Karass, aggressive.
Take it down. Come on, guys. Go.
The bell and round 4 of this super welterweight bout between Selçuk Aydın and Jesus Soto Karass. Aydın in the black and gold, while Soto Karass is adorned in the
Well, it's black and yellow.
Black and yellow.
Kind of black and gold, too.
Yeah.
They're close.
Must be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan or a Wiz Khalifa fan, one of the two.
Do they know the Steelers in Turkey? I'm not sure. You know,
or Mexico.
Yeah, or in Mexico. You know, the Soto Karass has been so much more busy in this fight. 98 punches in round 3 was thrown by Soto Karass to 57 by Aydın. So that activity is just going to be important for him if he can continue it.
He keeps Aydın off balance with his jab. And Soto Karass keeps throwing the jab whether it lands or not. It keeps Aydın, it keeps putting him out of position.
Paulie, I know we've heard Aydın, and now we're hearing Aydın, but it is Aydın, according to the fighter himself.
He can't get those pronunciations.
Well, being a couple of Italians, you know how that works. And now Soto Karass lands a straight right hand. Lead left hook by Aydın to keep him at bay momentarily as Aydın wants to move away from the ropes.
Now, I've been told, Felix de Jesus pointed out to us, the Steelers are on 32 different stations in Mexico. So maybe not in Turkey for the black and gold, but for Soto Karass, he could easily be a Steeler fan.
So the NFL is alive and well in Mexico as well.
Omnipresent everywhere.
Well, at least he wasn't distracted by the Steeler playoff games this year. He could train full force because they weren't in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, wow. I'd like to, you know, I'm not going to pile on because I'm a Chicago fan, so they didn't get there either.
Hey, I'm a Giant fan, so I'm not going any further.
I'm going to put money on a Harbaugh coach team to win the Super Bowl. That's what I can say. A minute left here in the 4th round as Soto Karass digging away with the left hook to the body, then going upstairs to the face. Aydın backs up and eats another left hook, and now along the ropes, Soto Karass staying busy. Under a minute now remaining in this 4th frame.
Wow, I talked about the danger of throwing the hooks to the body, but that punch is having big dividends for Soto Karass.
Aydın has never been knocked down, but in a little trouble here, trying to keep Soto Karass at bay there, pivoting off the ropes to the center of the ring, overhand right, and avoids the left hook to the body that time. Overhand right connects by Soto Karass, under 30 seconds remaining. Aydın again along the ropes.
And Aydın is throwing those overhand rights, just barely missing.
Nice double left hook, one to the body and one to the side of the head by Soto Karass. 15 seconds left in the round.
And Aydın puts himself out of position. That jab by Jesus Soto Karass keeps him out of position. Aydın leans back, he crosses his feet.
Let's go to Jim Gray standing by with Lucas Matisse.
All right. Thank you very much, Mauro. We're standing here with Virgil Hunter. There's some controversy brewing. Matisse took some amino 4500, and Virgil Hunter, who is training Dallas, saw it. Tell us, what did you see at the time, Virgil?
Well, Jim, when I went into Matisse's dressing room to watch him glove, I saw one of his cornermen give him an instruction. He went over to the bucket, grabbed a bottle of water. In his left hand, he had a top. He pulled it back once, took a swig of water, put it back twice, and took another. When I confronted him about it, the commissioner about it, the inspector, he asked him, did he take anything? And they admitted that he took something. And that's how we got where we are right now.
And they're calling you in. The executive director, Keith Kaiser of the Nevada State Athletic Commission, is dealing with this now. As of now, that's the information that we have. Let's go back out to ringside.
Thanks a lot, Jim. So some controversy brewing in the dressing room regarding our main event tonight between Lucas Matisse and Mike Dallas Jr.
Fascinating doesn't even cover that story at this point.
But here's the thing, they said he took something with amino. I'm not sure if let's not jump the gun here and say he took anything illegal. It might be something over the counter or whatnot. But here's the thing, it could also be mind games being played by Virgil Hunter. He's a great trainer, and he might be trying to get to distract Matisse, or even trying to get him to lose focus and concentration. Every little bit helps.
We'll know more.
Yeah, we'll continue to follow that story as round 5 is in action here between Selçuk Aydın with the left hook And there's another right hand by Aydın. Soto Karass just staying in the pocket. Staying right in front of him. Aydın working the body now with a straight right, overhand right, caught by the glove of Aydın. There's a 1-2 combination as the left hand went downstairs, followed by the right hand of Soto Karass. Under 2 minutes remaining in the round.
You know, Soto Karass is 2-5-1 in his last eight fights, and he needs a win badly, even though he still gets big fights because he's so fan-friendly and he's in these fights. This is the kind of consistent effort he has been hoping for, and so far anyway, it's going well for him.
And it's good to see that he wasn't frustrated. He didn't have any letdowns considering the defeats he suffered all those times. You know, he's still fighting like a hungry fighter. And, you know, he's staying disciplined, and he's fighting like, not only is he hungry, but he's fighting like a true veteran with an intelligent style.
Yeah, and at age 30, he is an 11-year veteran. So the question people are asking me, is he shop-worn or is he just a veteran? Well, tonight he has not looked shop-worn at all.
Soto Karass started training at the age of 18 at the gym in Los Mochis, Mexico, owned by former 3-division champ Fernando Montiel's family. Also made his debut at 18 and has been involved in plenty of fights like this. And a final minute now of the 5th round. Working the body again. There's a couple of uppercuts, short uppercuts delivered by Aydın. Misses with the left uppercut and then eats a couple of jabs. And there's another left hook to the body and a straight right to the top of his head. Right hand connects by Aydın. So at close quarters, they are beginning to increase their punch output, and that is saying something in this fight, but maybe the best sustained action we've seen thus far, going back and forth.
Yeah, Soto Karass is now standing in the middle with Aydın. Aydın's got to step it up here. He's got Soto Karass willing to exchange with him. He can't be sitting there waiting like this. Aydın needs to force it right now.
10 seconds left in the 5th round. Aydın with the left there, misses with the right, and is pushed back by the left from Soto Karass as they clinch. Uppercut by Soto Karass. Let's go to Jim Gray for an update with Keith Kaiser, who's the executive director of the Nevada State Athletic Commission.
All right, Mauro, thank you very much. We just talked about it. Amino 4500 supposedly was taken by Matisse in front of Virgil Hunter. You all have just met.
Yes.
Matisse will be tested before and after the fight. What is the resolution?
Yeah, both fighters will be tested per usual, both before and after the fight. But we also had our doctor come out, look at the ingredients, see what's in the pills that he take. Nothing there's a prohibited substance. So
if in fact that's what he took.
Right. So nothing in this prohibited substance, but nonetheless we'll still test him after the fight as we would have normally.
Virgil Hunter said he was not really satisfied with the decision. Are you satisfied? You're in charge. You're the executive director.
Well, I'm very much with faith in my doctors, and they know what they're looking at with the amino acids. It's nothing out of the ordinary for fighters to take amino acid pills, so I'm happy with it, but we'll also see what the drug tests say.
Keith, appreciate it.
Certainly.
Thank you. All right, Mauro, back down to you.
All right, good job there, Jim. And Paulie, you mentioned it.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of mind games. You know, anything that you take right before the fight will show up in your post-fight urine. There are probably substances guys can take that will beat those post-fight urine tests or even pre-fight urine tests. But Matisse's taking those things right now. So whatever's in his system right now, he will urinate out after the fight.
And the best news coming out of that report is the fact that the main event is still a go. Lucas Matisse versus Mike Dallas Jr. coming up after this fight.
And I think it's important to note that if I was a trainer and I saw somebody take something, I would certainly want to alert the commission to it, though your point is well taken, Paulie.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Virgil Hunter's being a great trainer. He's an astute guy. And again, it could be the mind games. You see Freddie Roach doing this a lot, too, messing with guys' hand wraps. And, you know, I remember the Margarito-Pacquiao fight where Margarito was drinking something, some kind of tea or something. So, you know, this is not the first time we see a trainer do this. But again, I have a feeling it was more mind games than anything else. And let's see if it works. We'll see how focused Matisse comes out.
At the midway point of the scheduled 10-rounder, let's take a look at the unofficial scoring.
Joe Cortez, Hall of Fame referee, and Steve Farhad and myself have it exactly the same. And, you know, other than, I think, in my case, round one, I had Soto Karass Aydın winning round one. And then beyond that, Soto Karass has just controlled the action here.
Double jab from Soto Karass. Now a couple of more jabs, keeping Aydın bay. Aydın coming in with the lead left hook that misses. Overhand right delivered by Soto Karass. Now has Aydın along the ropes, working the body, doing a really good job of utilizing Aydın's entire anatomy, although Aydın came there with an overhand right, Paulie. So it's Soto Karass just really kind of discombobulating Aydın with his versatile attack, although there was a nice jab from Aydın, a rare sighting.
Aydın's balance is not that good, guys. You know, he can only get off 1 or 2 punches at a time, and then he's off balance. Or he's trying to get out, and he gets hit with a shot, and it looks worse than it is a lot of times because he's not balanced properly.
One of my keys to victory was stay on balance. He hasn't done it.
Yeah, good point, Al. You know, and you know, maybe he needed 1 or 2 fights with Adam Booth, the new trainer, before he took on a guy like Soto Karass, who is, you know, a world-level fighter. And, you know, we'll see how it ends up. But, you know, the lack of balance is really hurting him.
Soto Karass, sorry, go ahead, Al.
I'm sorry. Key point. Russell Moore, a moment or two ago, warned Soto Karass about a low blow. I mentioned Karass has had 7 points taken away for low blows during the course of his career. So in a fight like this, that could have some impact. We'll see.
Aydın feels he's still the best puncher in the welterweight division. We're starting to see a little more from the right hand, but Soto Karass just walking through it, going to the body with the left hook. Now some footwork backing up is Aydın. Final 10 seconds of this 6th round. Selçuk, Aydın, Jesus Soto Karass. Plenty of punches here in Vegas. Well, we mentioned the Pittsburgh Steelers being popular in Mexico. You can join James Brown, Chris Collinsworth, and Phil Simms this Wednesday at 9 p.m. for the latest episode of Inside the NFL. The gang is down in the Big Easy, New Orleans, getting set for Super Bowl 47. I've already made my prediction, Al. What do you think?
Well, you know what? I live in Nevada, and Colin Kaepernick, I saw him plays college ball there. I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers in this one.
All right, you went with a little bit of emotion, Al. You know,
I did, a little bit,
Nevada. Yeah. I got to go the other way. I'm going with Baltimore.
Okay.
I think they're a bit more complete. I think they're playing off of emotion with Ray Lewis playing his last game. I think it's going to be a very good game. It could go either way, but I lean towards Baltimore.
One of the closer Super Bowls. Oh, they've been great and close lately anyway.
Joe Flacco, just amazing in the playoffs. And, of course, like you said, the upstart Colin Kaepernick, who's been a revelation. Selçuk, Aydın. Jesus Soto Karass getting set to duke it out again here as we begin round 7 at the Joint at the Hard Rock Hotel in Las Vegas.
Oh, perfect.
Total punches through 6 rounds as we take a look at the show stats.
And the key thing here is the number thrown. Look at how many more Soto Karass is throwing. He's landing at a slightly less percentage, but because he's throwing so many more, he is landing more. And I think that is really one of the keys to this fight.
And a running total there as you see the punches continue to accumulate. Huge advantage for Jesus Soto Karass. Are you surprised at all, Paulie, by what you're seeing from both fighters tonight in terms of the way this is playing out?
To a degree, yeah. I expected a little more from Aydın, but again, it could be that it's the first fight with Booth, and he's trying some new things, and he seems to be stuck in the midst of his old style, where he wanted to bang all the time, and in the midst of his new style, where he's trying to jab, and it's causing a bit of a lack of balance. Soto Karass wants to remain disciplined. That's what he told us yesterday. But a lot of times, when a guy forces him to fight, he ends up fighting. Aydın has not been able to force him to fight, and I think part of it is the confusion in his own mind.
You are so right. And I'm astonished that Aydın has fought this fight at long range going backward. I'm literally astonished at that.
He's the one that leaves the exchanges every time.
Yeah. In a million years, I would have never thought that.
Beautiful 3-punch combination by Soto Karass. Left hook to the body, left hook to the side of the head, and then the straight right hand. Short uppercut on the inside, followed by another right. Couple of uppercuts. Soto Karass, the busier by a huge margin. Again, the left hook to the liver. Aydın, though, staying in the pocket, trying to move forward, but just unable to really get much of a sustained attack off as he there flashes the jab. The right cross lands. Under a minute now remaining in the 7th.
And even when Soto Karass does get on the inside, languish in there a little bit, trade hooks, still Aydın isn't staying in there and making him pay.
Punches even on the inside are shorter from Soto Karass.
Aydın again leading with the right hand. Left to the midsection. Triple jab from Soto Karass. Right hand, left hook to the body. Counter left upstairs by Aydın. Again, the double jab, but now Soto Karass doesn't follow up. Becoming a little more economical, and yeah, maybe showing that wrinkle, Paulie, that you talked about. We heard in the fighter meetings that, yeah, he wants to be a little more patient, although Aydın now trying to maybe draw him into a brawl. Under 10 seconds remaining. Oh, nice, solid left hand by Soto Karass. Let's go inside the ropes with our man Al.
Well, we will see some of the themes in this fight, and most of them for Soto Karass. That left hook to the body has really, I think, sapped, and the repeated use of it has sapped the strength of Aydın. So even when Karass is on the inside, allowing Aydın to trade with him, there is not a good opportunity for Aydın to get a lot done. The body work of Soto Karass has been a staple. In the last round, this left hook gets in. It wasn't delivered perfectly, but it was a very nice punch. And again, Aydın, as Paulie said, leaving the exchange and leaving himself open.
And his lack of balance makes the shots look even worse than they are. Which will hurt you in the eyes of the judges.
Yeah, precisely. That's exactly right.
Round 8 straight ahead here. As we begin a New Year Showtime Championship Boxing main event. Some controversy in the dressing room, but Lucas Matisse still scheduled to face Mike Dallas Jr. in an important 140-pound matchup. But here, Aydın and Soto Karass begin where they left off in the 7th. And now, Aydın beginning to flash the jab, and there's his best combination of the fight.
A lot of that had to do with him starting the round with the jab.
Yeah, go figure. You know, 94 punches thrown by Soto Karass in the last round, only 48 for Aydın. And since the first round, Soto Karass has outlanded Aydın in every single round, but the activity is the key. His numbers according to show stats.
And with the amount of work that Soto Karass has done to the body, it's still pretty remarkable that Aydın is still able to keep his defense up, and you know what I mean? Like, he's not been down yet. He's never been down in his career. He's showing his toughness. Yeah, he's showing his toughness, but you know, it could be a lot of the reason why his output isn't so high either. He's here now, Karass going back to the ropes.
Now, I think Soto Karass, though, has allowed himself to stay in punching range in this round a little bit more with Aydın. Aydın's having one of his better rounds because he's at least been in position to land some more power shots.
And yet still gets tagged with that Soto Karass jab. There's another combination from Aydın, now beginning to use some footwork. Missing with the overhand right, but catching him with that right hand is Soto Karass, and looking to the referee after the clash of heads.
You know, one thing Aydın really loses with the lack of balance when punches are coming his way is the ability to counterpunch. You know, he can't, if you're balanced, you can counterpunch a lot of what's coming your way. If you're not balanced, you're not able to throw unless you throw with him like you did there.
Right cross by Aydın. Lands effectively. Uppercut. Some more body work. A little shoe shot action from Soto Karass.
It's probably the best round since the first round for Aydın. Soto Karass, by the way, it does not look like there's a cut there. He was cut against Maidana because of clash of heads in their last fight.
45 seconds left in the 8th round. Clinch, referee,
Don't punch back here. Don't punch
calls
back
for
here.
the break. Warning Aydın about rabbit punches. Final 10 seconds of the 8th round. A great left hook there by Aydın, but Soto Karass walking straight ahead. And a low left hook to the body of the bell by Soto Karass. As we have a lot of interesting spectators on hand here at the joint of the Hard Rock, Alfredo Angulo, a WBA super welterweight contender. Speaking of a guy that's known for his power, Yuriorkis Gamboa, Cuban flyweight Olympic gold medalist and the #1 rated WBA super featherweight fighter. From across the pond, Britain's former WBA heavyweight champion and currently back at #1 contender, David the Haymaker Hay, the Golden Boy in attendance. Oscar De La Hoya, former world champion in 6 weight divisions. And from the world of mixed martial arts, my good friend, former UFC champion, one of the best trainers in MMA history, the Croatian sensation, Pat Miletic, taking in the action.
And of course, one of the great broadcasters, he along with you and Frank Shamrock, made up a fantastic broadcast team.
The bell in round 9 underway. Soto Karass begins immediately with a couple of jabs. A jab from Aydın. But now real sense of urgency from Aydın here in the penultimate round, Paulie.
Yeah, he can't allow Karass to take the play away from him by out-jabbing him. Or at least if he's going to jab, Aydın has to stay busy despite Karass' jab.
Good combination there by Aydın. Tagged Soto Karass with the straight left. There's another 1-2 combination, then backs up. Taking a look at the show stats for total punches.
And the huge margin as the total continues of numbers thrown by Soto Karass is just big. Now the difference in land isn't monstrous when you break it up over a 8-round period, and that's why certain rounds may end up being scored. Maybe Aydın has a couple of rounds in there beyond the ones we've said. I don't know.
And they have redefined the term punches and bunches. They have thrown well over 1,000 punches in this fight here, and plenty more here in the 9th round. As we take a look at the unofficial scores from our Showtime crew.
Well, you know, I think we probably all agree that we had that first round and then the last one for Aydın, and Joe Cortez, Steve Farhood, and I all have this fight scored exactly the same.
That's no fun.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, I'll start arguing with them. Steve Farhood's been known to pick an argument or two with me, so he may do it again.
Don't talk about Mr. Showtime like that.
I know.
Clash of heads.
And there's the clash of heads that we have talked about.
You know, Aydın has made a slight adjustment in the past couple of rounds. He's straightened out his right hand a little bit. He's not throwing it as loopy as much. And it's been able to land a bit. There you saw a straight right again. He missed that one, but he's throwing it straighter, and it's allowing him, it's giving Soto Karass a bit more to think about.
Yeah, he's had more success, and now here's a little more pep in his step here as he's been able to land a few more combinations in round 9. Of course, the question is, too little, too late? We'll have to wait and see, as there's another nice combination. The right hand straight through. The high defense of Soto Karass.
Again, the jab.
And a left hook.
Part of it.
Fundamentals, Al. He's throwing the punches a bit more correctly.
Yeah, you're right. Straight right, and it's using the jab.
And Soto Karass returns to his bread and butter, that left hook to the body, and backing up Aydın with the straight right. Aydın along the ropes, pivoting away to the center of the ring. Left hook upstairs. Right hand ducking underneath the left, and catching Soto Karass with a short right.
And why did that happen? Because Soto Karass switched to lefty, and then when he switched back, he got caught in the switch.
Good point,
It's a good round for both men, though, but Aydın winning it.
One of probably Aydın's best rounds so far in the fight. 15 seconds left in the 9th round.
Soto Karass trying to test him mentally here. He's trying to walk him down and see how Aydın reacts to it.
We are headed to the 10th and final round of this 149-pound affair.
There was a clash of heads in that last round. This is about the 2nd or 3rd in the fight. That one could easily have created a cut for Soto Karass, who has been cut several times, including his last fight.
This is the last round. This is the last round. Don't let him go. When you throw, he wants to throw back, so you got to watch out for that one. Let me get...
Over. Understand? And then you rise. Show me perfect. Last round, okay? Show me perfect. No touch. Speed, aggressive.
So the 10th and final round is here. The two fighters touch gloves. 2004 Turkish Olympian Selçuk, Mini Tyson Aydın, and Jesus determined Soto Karass in his native Spanish, and he has been very determined in this fight thus far, and they come out swinging.
Soto Karass is 6-2-2 in 10-round fights. Oh, beautiful right hand by him. And Aydın, believe it or not, has never been 10. He's been 12, and he's 4-1 there. He's never had a fight that actually went the scheduled 10 rounds.
Soto Karass made some nice moves on the inside a second ago. He landed some punches and stepped around and continued that combination. He did it once or twice, and it confused Aydın.
There's a double jab backing up Aydın along the ropes. Soto Karass keeping him at long range, now closing the gap with the right hand. Short left uppercut on the inside, right uppercut, and misses with the overhand right as Aydın finally moves out of harm's way. But Aydın, on his bicycle momentarily, needs to try to find a way to dent the dentures of Soto Karass if he wants to win this fight.
That's the thing, Aydın can punch, but Soto Karass has got a great chin. So you can't just hit him with one shot and knock him out. You got to break him down, and that's where Aydın's approach was wrong. He was trying to land one hard shot at a time during most of this fight. Well, straight right starting to land though again for Aydın.
You know, a mini streak in the last couple of rounds where Aydın did very well, and Soto Karass kind of put a stop to it for the first part of this round.
But who knows if Aydın would have thrown those punches straight from the beginning? I agree. How different this fight could have been for him.
Soto Karass sticking to what he told us at the fighter meeting, wanting to fight more intelligently, not wanting to brawl for the sake of brawling. And he said he wanted to use his jab, and he's used that and a lot more.
Mission accomplished on both fronts for Soto Karass. And for Aydın, all of a sudden in this fight, over the course of his career, and all of a sudden he's in this fight and he's become a pure boxer, or trying to be.
And using footwork, and now Soto Karass catching him again. Left uppercut, right uppercut, overhand. Left hook there by Aydın. So they are now going tit for tat here. 39 seconds left, wanting to give the fans their money's worth in the 35 seconds remaining in the fight.
And Soto Karass has landed the bigger power shots in this round, the left hooks especially.
Final 20 seconds of this battle between Jesus Soto Karass and Selçuk Aydın. Working the body again is Soto Karass. Aydın ducking underneath the right. 10 seconds remaining. And Aydın is going to need that Hail Mary here as Soto Karass continues to stalk him. What a fight. Good one here tonight.
Beautiful. Very nice.
So Jesus Soto Karass, who was just 2-5 with 1 no decision in his last 8 outings, coming off a loss. Both fighters coming off a loss. Paulie, we await the official decision, but I think Soto Karass has to feel really good about how he bounced back from the Maidana fight.
Yeah, you know, he was the more consistent of the two fighters. They both had some good moments in the fight. I like the way Aydın adjusted late in that fight and late in the fight and threw the straight right hand because it landed more consistently. But overall, it seemed like Soto Karass was more consistent.
Yeah, we will look back at that last round that ended this 10-round fight. And for Soto Karass, on the inside with Aydın, but what he did here was work very effectively with the jab and the straight right. And even though he's on the inside, and he's throwing the uppercut, which is the punch that Aydın really should have used in this fight. Now, Aydın, even in the last round, had his moments. As Paulie said, they weren't as consistent as he'd like. There's the right hand. That's an important weapon for Aydın. He was never able to truly hurt Soto Karass with it. The activity of Soto Karass was just too much for him, and we see it as the fight wound down to a close. As Paulie said, Soto Karass was stalking him, walking him down. And on the inside where Aydın was supposed to be better, Soto Karass was better.
Looking at the final show stats numbers, and boy, they are large, and definitely the attempts and the percentages are pretty impressive as well, especially for Aydın actually there.
Yeah, almost doubling in terms of number of punches thrown, Soto Karass. Now, that difference in terms of what's landed is not a monstrous difference, but it was consistent throughout the fight. In other words, that 215 landed to 157 wasn't built over only 1 round. It was built by consistently being more throughout the fight.
Time to find out how the judges here in Nevada saw this fight. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, we have a majority decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Ricardo Ocasio, scores about 95, 95, even a draw. Overruled by judges Robert Hoyle and Tim Cheatham, both of them scoring about 97 to 93 in favor of the winner, Jesus Soto.
Wouldn't be the start to the new year of boxing without a little bit of controversy. I think the judges, well, two of them got it right.
Yeah, and, you know, obviously that the 297-93 score is probably more in line with the way we saw this fight. But as I said, there were rounds in there that if you switched a couple here and there, could have had an impact. But for a very difficult night for Aydın, he was hoping not to string two losses together after he had been undefeated in his pro career. And for Soto Karass, a desperately important win.
A huge sigh of relief. All right, Jim Gray is standing by with the winner.
All right, thank you very much. Felix de Jesus will interpret for us. Jesus, how did you manage to do this? You were 2-5 and a no decision in your last 8 fights. You come off a fight against Maidana, and now you bounce back like this. How did you pull this off?
¿Cómo te manejaste en el día de hoy después de tu última 8 peleas, ganar 2, perder 5 y una sin decisión?
Pues mira, pues nos estuvimos manejando a través de un poquito más de boxeo, ¿no? Tratar de boxear un poquito más por las cualidades de Selçuk. Entonces, tenemos otras cualidades y es la que estamos usando, un poquito más de boxeo.
He managed it a little bit different. Now he has more of a boxing skill, and that's what he demonstrated tonight.
You seem to be able to stalk him. Paulie Malignaggi and Al Bernstein said you just kept going after him and stalking him. Was that your plan, or did you alter it after you saw the way he was fighting?
¿Ese fue el plan tuyo, de seguirle delante, siempre atacándolo?
Pues mira, pues así se dio, ¿no? Que si queríamos un poquito de boxear, pero pues porque pensábamos que él iba a venir para adelante, pero no. Entonces empezamos a boxear, pero inteligente, ¿no? Hacia adelante, pero inteligente.
We thought that he was going to come out straight, like he's always done. So we tried to box to start the fight, and then we kind of changed plans.
With your record after your layoff, how close did you come to just quitting and saying, no más?
Después de la marca así negativa, ¿qué cerca tuviste para decir más no al boxeo?
No, tanto mi promotora como mi manager estuvimos platicando de que tenemos para ser campeones mundiales. Esperar una oportunidad con Paulie Malignaggi o con cualquier campeón mundial, ¿no? Que nos dé la oportunidad, porque tenemos las cualidades para hacerlo. En mi mente nunca está retirarme.
No, and his mind was never to retire. He knows he has the quality to fight, and he talked it over with his manager, and they said that they're going to keep going.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, gracias.
All right, Mauro, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Jesus Soto Karass improving to 27-8-3 with one no decision, with a majority decision victory over Selçuk Aydın. As we go, as Aydın very disappointed now, the back-to-back losses after beginning his career undefeated, and the body language speaks volumes, as does that smile as we go inside the ropes in extreme slow motion now.
Yeah, and what this will show is early on in the bout, in round 1, Aydın was able to land more of his big power punches. But then, as the fight wore on, it was Soto Karass who did the important work. Now, in this case, we're seeing some right hands from him. There were also terrific left hooks, like that one that landed, and tremendous body work as well by Soto Karass. And when you slow it down like this in extreme slow motion, you can see how these power punches were able to get there. And even on the inside, the crunching body work by Soto Karass.
Here are the official scores from the 3 judges in Nevada.
Ricardo Ocasio, of course, had that draw, and Hoyle and Cheatham both seeing the fight 97-93. Our unofficial scoring with Joe Cortez, Steve Farr, and myself, we had it very much in line with the 2 judges that scored it for him.
All right, let's go to Brian Kenny.